The great chamber of the Galactic Council stood like a monument of unity. Its walls were vast, shining with energy that carried the voices of 100 worlds. Tall spires of crystal light reached upward, reflecting colors from every star system represented. It was a place of calm debate, where the most powerful civilizations gathered to decide the fate of galaxies. On this day, humanity sat among them for the first time. Their arrival was still new, their place still fragile. The humans came with calm faces, straight backs, and voices that carried polite tones. They wore simple clothes compared to the grand armors of insectoid generals, or the glowing robes of energy beings. Yet their eyes carried something that was hard to read, something hidden. The council had seen many young races before. Some entered with pride, showing weapons. Others bowed too deeply, begging for protection. Humanity was different. They spoke softly, never raised their voices, and always smiled when questions were asked. Humans are kind but weak, one crystalline delegate whispered to another. Their words like soft ringing bells. They will not last long, replied a scaled ambassador, her tail curling lazily. But perhaps they will make good assistants. No one said these words aloud in the great chamber. Still, the thoughts echoed quietly through the minds of many. Humanity's politeness seemed like a shield made of paper, something that would crumble. Under real pressure, the human delegation, however, listened more than they spoke. Their leader, Ambassador Daniel Carter, kept his voice steady and respectful. His hair had silver at the edges, his eyes calm, his words carried no hint of challenge. "We are honored to stand among you," Carter said, bowing slightly to the gathered council. "Humanity comes not to command but to learn. We hope to add our small voice to your great harmony." The words earned soft applause. Some nodded approvingly. Others smiled kindly, as one might smile at a child. Yet behind the human smiles, there was careful observation. Every gesture, every pause, every flash of irritation between rival species did not escape their notice. Humanity had long experience with conflict, though they did not speak of it here. The chamber itself reflected the balance of the council. Floating in the center was the speaker's seat, a sphere of energy that shifted its shape depending on who spoke. Around it, in a great circle, were the platforms of each species. Each platform carried the unique style of its people: coral thrones for the ocean dwellers, subsidian seats for the lava-born, nests for insectoid queens. The human platform looked plain by comparisons: smooth metal, chairs, and a table. But humans did not mind. They had learned to appear smaller than they were. The speaker, an ancient being of light and shadow, addressed the gathering. "Today we welcome Earth, the newest voice in this council. May their wisdom serve peace, as all voices here must." The chamber filled with approving sound claps, echoes, vibrations. Humanity bowed again. To most of the council, this was the end of it. The humans were accepted, and life would continue as before. But whispers began to form in the private corridors afterward. Later, in the council's garden of stars, two insectoid warriors spoke quietly. "Did you see how careful they were?" asked the first, his wings clicking softly. "Yes," replied the second. "They fear us. They show politeness because they are fragile. Fragile things break," the first said with a cruel chuckle. Nearby, a group of energy beings discussed the same. Their voices crackled like static. "They avoided every conflict during debate," one said. "Not a single word of challenge. They bend like reeds in the wind." "Reeds bend," another replied, "but they do not fight back. The humans are safe to ignore." And so the picture of humanity began to form among the elder races: peaceful, polite, harmless. Inside the human quarters, however, the truth was different. Ambassador Carter sat with his team of advisors. Their faces were calm, but their eyes showed quiet fire. "They think we are weak," said one advisor, a young woman named Lynn Tran. Carter nodded. "Good, let them think so." Another, a tall man named Malik, frowned. "But if they see us as weak, they may try to push us aside. They may test us." "They will," Carter agreed. His voice was quiet but steady. "But that is the way of powerful neighbors. We must not show teeth too early." The council is a game of patience. We must learn their moves before we reveal our own. The room fell silent. Each human there understood. They carried centuries of human history in their minds, wars fought, empires risen and fallen, disasters endured. Humanity had always survived, not by being the strongest, but by being adaptable. For now, the mask of politeness stayed in place. Weeks passed, and humanity listened to the endless discussions of the council. Arguments about trade routes, disputes over borders, debates about technology sharing. Whenever voices rose, humans spoke softly. Whenever threats were made, humans smiled. Their words were always the same. Let us seek compromise. Let us share. Let us avoid needless conflict. Some alien delegates found comfort in this attitude. Others grew impatient. Always so careful, one said. Always so afraid. But in truth, humans were learning. Every angry shout revealed alliances. Every insult revealed pride. Every vote revealed weakness. Humanity built a map in their minds, not of stars, but of intentions. Ambassador Carter kept notes in a small book. Old-fashioned paper, not digital. His aides sometimes wondered why. He only said, "A book cannot be hacked." One day, a dispute erupted between two great powers, the insectoid Zoreth and the crystalline Valeri. Both claimed rights to a resource-rich system. Their voices shook the chamber with anger. "You will not touch those planets," the Zoreth queen hissed. "They are ours by ancestral right. They are claimed by law," the Valeri leader sang in clear tones. "Your ancestors matter not in this chamber." The chamber trembled with their voices. Other delegates shifted nervously. Some supported the insects, others the crystals, and then softly, human voice rose. "Perhaps," Ambassador Carter said, "the system may be shared. Each may take part, under mutual watch. If both sides gain, neither side must lose." The words floated gently in the chamber. Some nodded at the wisdom, but the Zoreth queen clicked her mandibles with disdain. "Humans speak like dreamers," she said. "We deal in power, not in wishes." The Valeri laughed softly, their voice like glass breaking. "Yes, the humans do not understand." The dispute raged on. Fleets prepared in silence. The council, for all its laws, could not always stop war. And so, the humans returned to their quarters. Knowing the storm was coming, that night, Lintran sat by a window, staring at the stars. "They think we are harmless," she whispered. Malik stood beside her. "And what if they push us too far? What if they strike one of our colonies?" "Then," said Carter, entering the room, "they will see what lies beneath the mask." The humans fell silent. They were patient, yes. They were polite, yes. But deep within them was something the council had not yet understood. Not weakness, not fear, but the quiet strength of a species that had survived everything their world had thrown at them. For now, the mask remained, but cracks would come. And when they did, the council would see the truth. The first part of humanity's story in the stars had begun not with weapons, but with smiles. Not with threats, but with patience. And patience, as history had always shown, was humanity's most dangerous weapon of all.
The storm that the humans had quietly predicted soon began to gather strength. Across the stars, whispers of war filled every corridor of the Galactic Council. The Zoreth fleets moved from their hives with terrifying speed, wings of metal stretching across space. The Valeri, crystalline and cold, called their fleets of light to defend their claim. Both sides prepared for battle, each believing the other would yield once they saw strength displayed. The council chamber grew tense. No voice could calm the rising tide. Even the ancient speaker, whose presence had ended wars before, could not bend these two races back from the cliff. And in the middle of it all, humanity sat quietly listening. Ambassador Daniel Carter watched the chamber with calm eyes. His team beside him stayed silent, though inside they felt the same unease. Lintran leaned closer and whispered, This is going to break the Council's peace. They will not stop until blood is spilled. Carter nodded but did not move. Then let us continue as we have. Let them believe we are the weakest voice here. Malik frowned, frustration clear on his face. But should we not do more? If war comes, it may touch us too. The Zorath already look down on us. They may strike a human colony just to prove their power. Carter's eyes did not leave the chamber. Patience. Every move they make, every word they speak gives us knowledge. Let them reveal themselves. The humans sat back again, quiet, polite, and watchful. Over the next weeks, the council became a place of arguments rather than unity. The Zorath queen hissed and struck the floor with her claws, demanding action. The Valari leader answered with sharp, ringing tones that cut like blades. Other races tried to mediate, but none could hold back the tide. At every turn, the humans offered compromise. We can establish a neutral station, Carter suggested softly one day. Both sides can share resources and the council can watch to ensure fairness. But the words fell into silence. Neither Zorath nor Valari listened. They hear nothing, Malik muttered under his breath. They hear, Carter replied quietly, but they do not respect the one who speaks. Beyond the council chamber, the galaxy trembled. News spread of fleets gathering near the disputed system. Traders whispered of border patrols stopping ships. Refugees began to move, fearing the coming fire. On Earth's colonies, people prepared as well. Quietly, supply ships carried food, medicine, and defensive systems. The humans did not send war fleets. Instead, they strengthened their homes and made plans. Ambassador Carter received secret reports daily. He read them in silence, then closed his small book. His aides knew he was placing the pieces together in his mind. Still, when he entered the council chamber, he carried the same calm smile. One evening in the council's star garden, Carter met with the aquatic delegate of the Thalorians. The Thalorians swam slowly in a floating sphere of water, their eyes deep and knowing. You humans are strange, the Thalorian said, always so quiet, always so polite. Do you not fear what is coming? Carter smiled gently. Of course we fear. But fear is not new to us. It is an old companion. The Thalorian tilted its head. Then why do you not shout as the others shout? Because shouting does not change what is to come, Carter replied. We prepare instead. The Thalorian studied him for a long time. Perhaps you are not as simple as they believe. Carter gave no answer. He only bowed politely and left. Inside the council chambers, the cracks widened. The insectoid Zorath grew impatient. Enough of these endless words. Their queen hissed. We claim the system, and if the crystals oppose us, then let them be broken. The Valari leader's voice rang sharp. Your claims are empty. Your kind lives in the past. If you step into that system, you will find your fleets turned to dust. The chamber filled with shouts. Allies of each side raised their voices. Old rivalries began to surface. The council no longer looked like a monument of unity, but like a battlefield of words. And in that storm of noise, the humans sat still. They do not see us at all, Lynn whispered. Carter's lips curved into a thin smile. Good. That is the safest place to be for now. But in silence, the humans prepared. Their diplomats gathered information, their fleets quietly mapped routes, and their scientists studied every signal. No one noticed the small human ships moving at the edges of disputed space, recording every maneuver of both Zorath and Valari fleets. They were not large warships, only fast scouts, but their presence meant humanity now held knowledge others did not. Back in the council, Carter never spoke of these things. His words remained soft. His tone never changed. Soon the first clash came. It began at the border of the disputed system. A Zorath patrol fired upon a Valari vessel. The Valari answered with blinding beams of crystal light. The skirmish was small, but it carried the weight of war. News reached the council within hours. The chamber erupted again, voices louder than ever. The Zorath queen struck the floor with her claws. They fired first. We will answer with full force. The Valari leader's voice rang like breaking stone. You lie! Your ship struck first. Now you will pay the price. Other delegates shouted, some calling for peace, others choosing sides. And through it all, the humans sat silently watching. That night, in the quiet of their quarters, Malik slammed a hand on the table. We cannot just sit here. If war spreads, our colonies may suffer. Carter looked at him calmly. And if we rise too soon, what will happen? They will see our strength, Malik answered. They will see a threat, Carter corrected. and then the war may turn toward us as well. No, we must hold the mask in place a little longer. Lynn leaned forward. But when the time comes... Carter closed his book and looked at them both. When the time comes, the Council will learn what humanity truly is. But not yet. The war of words continued to spread. The Council struggled to keep control. The speaker called for calm again and again, but few listened. Fleets moved closer and the galaxy braced for war. In the middle of it, humanity's voice remained the same, polite, soft, and always calling for compromise. To most of the Council, humans seemed like dreamers lost in storms too great for them, but to a few observant eyes the mask looked too perfect, too deliberate, and in the quiet spaces between meetings, those few began to wonder what might be hiding behind humanity's endless smiles. For the first time, curiosity stirred among the elder races. Were the humans truly as harmless as they appeared, or was something far older and far stronger waiting in silence? The answer had not yet come, but the first shadows of truth had begun to fall across the council chamber, and humanity, calm and patient, waited for the storm to break. The storm finally broke. At first, the battles between the Zorath and the Valari were small, skirmishes at the edge of disputed systems, patrols clashing in the dark silence of space. But each battle grew larger, sharper, louder. Soon fleets moved like rivers of fire, and stars near the borders shone brighter from the light of war. The Galactic Council chamber, once filled with calm voices, became a place of panic. Every meeting rang with arguments, accusations, and demands for judgment. The speaker tried to restore order, but his voice was drowned out by the cries of angry ambassadors. And still, the humans sat quietly. Ambassador Daniel Carter entered the chamber each day with the same calm steps, the same polite bow and the same soft smile. His team followed behind him, taking their seats on the plain human platform. To the other delegates, this seemed almost comical. While mighty powers raged and threatened war, humanity still whispered of compromise and peace. "They do not understand real danger," muttered the Zorath Queen one day, her mandibles clacking as she glared at the human platform. "They understand nothing," replied the Valari leader, in a voice that rang like cracking glass. "They are children playing in storms too great for them." The words brought laughter from many. Humanity's patience was mistaken again for weakness, but outside the chamber, reality had changed. One quiet morning, reports reached the council. A human colony had been attacked. It was a small colony, only a few thousand settlers living on a green world near the trade lanes. They had no fleets, no armies, only farms, labs, and small defensive outposts. The attackers came swiftly. Zorath raiders, seeking to prove their dominance, had chosen the humans as an easy target. They believed no one would protect them, and that humans would simply bow their heads, beg for mercy, and surrender. But they were wrong. The first raider ships descended, expecting no resistance. Yet the human settlers had already prepared. Their warning systems, built quietly with Earth's cautious foresight, had given them time. Civilians were hidden underground, defenses powered on, and signals sent to orbit. Then the unexpected happened. A fleet of human ships appeared, not massive warships like those of the Zorath or Valari, but fast, precise, and coordinated. They moved with patterns learned from centuries of human history. Every battle, every war, every survival written into their tactics. When the raiders opened fire, the humans answered not with blind rage but with calm calculation. Every shot they fired was measured. Every maneuver was exact within hours. The raider fleet was gone, shattered, scattered, fleeing into the dark. The colony was saved. The news reached the council like a thunderclap. At first, many did not believe it. How could the humans, polite and harmless, defeat Zorath raiders with such precision? But the reports could not be denied. Recordings of the battle spread through the council's channels. Images of human ships moving like hunters, striking with perfect accuracy, leaving no chance for their enemies to recover. The chamber fell silent as the evidence played. For the first time, humanity was not ignored. The Zorath Queen hissed in outrage. "This is a trick!" The humans could not have done this alone. They must have had help. The Valari leader's voice rang cold. Or perhaps they hid their strength waiting for such a moment. Other delegates whispered among themselves. Fear, surprise, and respect mixed in their voices. Ambassador Carter stood slowly, his calm face unchanged. He bowed slightly, then spoke in his soft voice. "Honored Council, we did not seek this battle. Our colony was attacked without warning. We defended ourselves as any people would." His words were gentle, but they carried weight now. No one laughed. No one dismissed them. "We came to this council for peace," Carter continued. "We have shown restraint even as storms gathered around us. But if our homes are struck, we will protect them. Not with anger, but with resolve." The chamber remained silent. The politeness was still there, but the mask had slipped just enough for all to glimpse the steel beneath it. In their private quarters, the human delegation spoke freely for the first time. "They are shocked," Lynn said. "They thought we were weak. Now they know better." Malik leaned against the table, his eyes hard. "Perhaps now they will leave us alone." Carter shook his head. "No, now they will study us. Some will fear, some will admire, but none will ignore us anymore. The mask cannot be put back fully. They have seen what lies beneath." His words carried both warning and pride. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, the story of humanity spread like wildfire. Traders carried tales of the polite race that had suddenly shown strength. Refugees whispered of human fleets moving like shadows. Soldiers of other species spoke in awe of the precision that had crushed the raiders. For the first time, humanity's name was spoken with respect. But in the chambers of the council, unease grew. The Zorath Queen demanded punishment. "The humans are dangerous. They must be restricted before they rise further. They should not be allowed to build fleets so powerful." The Valari leader, though once scornful, spoke differently now. "Perhaps they are dangerous, yes, but perhaps they are also useful. Strong allies are rare in such times," other delegates argued. Some wanted humanity placed under watch. Others wanted to invite them into alliances. All agreed on one thing: the humans could no longer be dismissed. In the Star Garden that night, Carter walked alone. The sky above shimmered with thousands of artificial lights, each representing a world in the council. The Thalorian delegate approached, their watery sphere glowing softly. "So it is true," they said. "The humans wear two faces." Carter looked up at the lights. "We wear one face. The other was always there waiting. You simply did not see it." The Thalorian tilted their head, thoughtful. "Perhaps you are the most dangerous of us all. Not because you fight, but because you choose when not to fight." Carter gave no answer. He only bowed politely, his calm smile returning. But within his heart, he knew the truth. The mask had slipped, and it could not be raised again. The council had seen a glimpse of what humanity truly was: patient, resilient, and precise. Not fragile reeds, but hunters who waited in silence until the right moment came. And though Carter still hoped for peace, he understood that the galaxy would never again see humanity the same way. The storm was far from over. The Zorath and Valari war still burned, and the council was weaker than ever. But now, in that weakness, humanity had found its moment. The polite mask was cracking, and soon the truth would shine through in full. The chamber of the Galactic Council no longer sounded the same. Once it was a place of calm discussions, polite speeches, and careful compromise. Now it echoed with suspicion, fear, and endless debate. Every species spoke of the same subject: humanity. The Zorath Queen was the loudest. Her mandibles clicked sharply as she raised her voice across the chamber. "They deceived us. They wore a mask of weakness while they hid fleets in the dark. Their colony's defense was no accident, it was preparation. They must be restrained before they rise further." Her words filled the air like poison. Many delegates nodded in agreement. The crystalline Valari leader, once dismissive of humanity, now spoke more carefully. "Perhaps they are not harmless. But strength is not always a threat. The humans may be valuable. In times of chaos, allies matter more than enemies." The chamber stirred. Some leaned toward fear, others toward alliance. But all eyes turned to the human platform. Ambassador Daniel Carter rose. His steps were slow, his expression calm. He bowed first to the speaker, then to the gathered council. His voice was the same polite tone it had always been, but now every word was heard. "Honored Council, we did not come to you with hidden weapons. We did not come to you with false words. We came for peace, and for peace we have spoken since our first day here. Yet when our people were attacked, we could not stand idle. We defended our homes as any of you would." His words carried no anger, only quiet certainty. He paused, letting silence fill the chamber. Then he added, "If this is deception, then all of you are guilty, for every one of your species has defended their people when danger came. We are no different. "We are only new." The chamber remained silent. Some looked away. Others narrowed their eyes. In the private corridors after the meeting, the whispers grew. They speak politely, but their hands are sharp. Perhaps the mask they wear is more dangerous than open threats. They may be young, but they are not weak. Not anymore. For the first time, the Council's balance shifted. Humanity, once ignored, now stood at the center of every discussion. Inside the human quarters, the atmosphere was tense. Malik paced back and forth. They watch us now. Every move we make, every word we speak. Some are afraid. Some want to use us. This will not end easily. Lynn sat at the table, her eyes thoughtful. Perhaps it is better this way. We can no longer be dismissed. They will think twice before striking us again. Carter closed his small book, his calm face hiding the weight he carried. Respect is born from fear as much as from trust. The question is, which one will grow stronger? We must guide their view carefully. If they see only a threat, they will unite against us. If they see balance, they may accept us as equals. His aides nodded, though unease still filled the room. The Council continued to fracture. The Zorath accused the Valari of manipulating humans. The Valari accused the Zorath of provoking needless war. Other races, long quiet, began to choose sides. But always the question returned. What did humanity truly want? The Thalorian delegate, in their sphere of water, raised the question directly in one session. Their calm, flowing voice filled the chamber. Humans, you say you came for peace, yet now you stand with fleets sharp and ready. Tell us, what is your true face? Are you the gentle diplomats we welcomed or the precise warriors we have now seen? The chamber fell quiet. Carter stood again. His voice remained soft, but there was no hiding the firmness within it. We are both. We have always been both. We are gentle when we can be, strong when we must be. We do not enjoy war, but we do not fear it. We carry with us the lessons of a long and difficult past. If that past has made us patient, then it has also made us prepared. His words spread through the chamber like waves. No one laughed. No one mocked. For the first time, the Council saw humanity not as a child, but as something more, something dangerous. Yes, but also steady. That night, alone in the Star Garden, Carter thought of Earth. He thought of the long struggles of his people, of wars endured and survived, of peace fought for again and again. Humanity had always worn a mask, sometimes of pride, sometimes of politeness, sometimes of strength. But here, among the stars, that mask had cracked. The truth had slipped out, and the truth was simple. Humanity endured. Humanity adapted. Humanity survived. Whether the Council liked it or not, the galaxy now knew this truth. In the days that followed, alliances began to shift. Some species quietly approached humanity, offering friendship. They spoke of trade, of knowledge, of shared defense. Others avoided them, whispering that humans could not be trusted. The Council chamber itself seemed smaller now, the debates sharper, the voices louder. The great unity was weakening, and in the center of it all stood humanity, once invisible, now impossible to ignore. Ambassador Carter knew what this meant. The polite mask could never be raised fully again. The Council had seen behind it, and the truth could not be forgotten. The challenge ahead was no longer to be noticed, but to be accepted, and in the silence of his quarters, Carter whispered to himself, the hardest part is yet to come. The chamber of the Galactic Council had never been so silent. War still burned across the borders. Zorath and Valari fleets clashed, their battles lighting entire sectors with fire. Smaller species scrambled to survive, trading loyalty for protection. Yet in the heart of it all, the Council could not stop thinking about humanity. For centuries, they had believed humans were only a minor people, polite and cautious, harmless in the scale of galactic power. But the mask had slipped. Behind their calm smiles was something far older and sharper, the will to survive at any cost. Ambassador Daniel Carter stood once more before the assembly. His voice was steady, his words measured. Honored Council, he said, bowing with his usual respect, we ask not for domination nor for conquest. We ask only for peace. But if peace is denied, then humanity will endure as we always have. Some delegates shivered at the tone. It was not a threat, it was a truth. Outside the chamber, more reports arrived. Human fleets were not the largest nor the most advanced, but they moved with a unity no other species could match. Colonies stood unbroken, supply lines remained steady, and every attack against them ended the same way. with the attackers in retreat. Where other powers wasted strength on pride and anger, the humans fought with patience. They never struck first, but when struck, they struck with finality. The council watched in disbelief. The Zorath Queen raged, demanding that the humans be punished before they grew too strong. The Valari leader accused humanity of hiding their true nature. But their voices carried less weight now. Too many had seen the recordings. Too many had whispered the same thought. If the humans could endure Earth's history of storms, wars, and disasters, what could stop them now? The breaking point came when a joint fleet of Zorath and Valari tried to push into human space together. They believed unity would overwhelm the newcomers. They believed humanity's strength was exaggerated, a lucky victory. But when their combined fleet entered orbit around a human colony, they found something else waiting. Not just warships, entire worlds stood ready. Civilian outposts had been turned into fortresses, trade ships into defenders, and every human voice on every channel carried the same steady message. We do not wish for war, but we will not kneel. The battle that followed was recorded from every angle. The human fleets did not rush forward blindly. They waited, absorbed the first blow, then moved with perfect coordination. Every ship supported another. Every tactic was centuries in the making. By the end, the Allied fleet was broken. Not destroyed completely, but shattered enough that neither the Zorath nor the Valari dared to test humanity again. In the council chamber, the speaker finally rose. His deep voice echoed across the silent hall. Enough. We have all seen the truth. Humanity is not weak. Humanity is not harmless. They are what they have always claimed to be, survivors. No one argued. Not even the Zorath or Valari. Ambassador Carter lowered his head respectfully. We did not wish for this, he said quietly. But now you understand. Politeness was never weakness. Patience was never surrender. We wore a mask because we hoped it would be enough. Now the mask is gone and the truth remains. For the first time, the council looked at the humans not as children, not as dreamers, but as equals. And in that moment, every species understood a simple, heavy truth. Humanity would not conquer the galaxy. Humanity would outlast it. The war did not end that day. But something greater began. A shift in every heart, a ripple through every starfaring world. Humanity had shown its face and the galaxy would never forget it.